Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we are going to be going over the basics on how to deal with user input and output in Python. We are going to master the absolute basics of input and output in Python with no complex graphical interfaces, just pure efficient code. We are going to define custom functions for every type of I/O, so you have a reusable toolkit by the end of this video. Now let's start with the console. So to input data, we have our own special function, and to output data, we have another function for that too. So let me show you a quick example, and we have the input function. This function is used to input data inside of the computer, and we also have the print function, which is used to output data outside of the computer. So to begin with, how do we use the print function? So the print function is used to output data, either numerical data or string data, which is words. So if we want to output string data like words, we put it in a set of quotation marks, and then I'm going to print out my name is Jamal, just like this. And if we were to run our code, we would see my name is Jamal inside our terminal. So as we wait for it to run, let me explain the print function more in detail. So we say print open parentheses and a close parentheses. Then if we're outputting words, let's say a sentence, we put it inside a pair of quotation marks. That is a must, and without these quotation marks, Python would spit out an error. So as you can see in our terminal, we get my name is Jamal. So what if we wanted a different name? That's where we input data from. Let's say input. How we use the input function is basically the same, but inside our quotation marks this time is going to be a prompt, what the computer is going to ask us to input. So the computer is going to ask us, what is your name? Let's just type that in, and there we go, we have our prompt. And all we have to do is say print, just like this. So we're going to store this input data. I forgot to mention that my name is equal to input. So my name is equal to input, what is your name? This is the prompt. And just like that, we can print out my name. As you can see, my name is not in a set of quotation marks. And this is because my name right here is something we call a variable. And variables are basically data containers, and they do not need a quotation mark pair. Because if we were to put a quotation mark pair, it would be printed as my name. And if we do not, it would print what we input right here. So when we run our code, we're expected to get the prompt, what is your name? And the system is going to print out what our name is. So in the terminal, I'm going to type, my name is Jamal, just like this. And as you can see, it printed out Jamal with a spelling error there, my bad. So this is the basics of how you can use input and output in Python. So another neat feature that you can use is something we call merging, or how can I put it? We can mix strings and other variables together in one print statement. So let's say I want to input my name again. So I'll type in my name is equal to input, in quotation marks, what is your name, with a question mark right there. And then I wanted to say print hello, whatever my name is. I'll type in print hello, just like this, with a set of quotation marks. And then I'll add the plus symbol after this word hello and the set of quotation marks. And then I'll type in the name of my variable, which is my name, just like this. And what we're expected to have is the variable my name printed after the word hello, just like this. So when we run our code, we're expected to first be greeted by the prompt, what is your name? And after we type that, we're expected to be greeted with a hello plus what we input right here. So I'm going to type in Jamal, just like this, and we get hello Jamal. And we can add spacing right here after the hello. And if we run it again, we would see a space between hello and Jamal. So in our terminal, this is a non-graphical user interface type of code, and we type in Jamal again, and we'll see the space right there, hello Jamal. We can also output numbers and use it for basic numerical systems. Let's say I wanted to print out a number. I'd say print out 1 in quotes, just like that. Or I can say print 1 without quotation marks. And let's see what happens when I print 1 with quotes and 1 without quotes. So in our terminal, we're expected to see both ones. And as I said before, these need quotation marks. But there's a special exception for numbers because these are numerical values and they're not strings. So that means they do not need quotation marks. And as you can see, if we were to make a simple addition calculator, and let's say number 1 is equal to input, what is your first number? Your first number question mark, just like that, and number underscore 2 is equal to input, what is your second number? Just like that. We would be expected to input both these digits just like this. But one thing to keep in mind is when data is inputted using the input function, it's inputted as a string. So we have to convert our inputs into numerical values using the int function. So to use this function, all we have to do is go right here, right before the input, and say int and surround it with a set of parentheses, just like this. So int input, this says input an integer. It will input a string, but our data will be stored as an integer inside number 1. And we can do this for number 2 too, just like this, int number 2. So what we're going to do now is perform the actual operation, and we're going to say results are equal to number 1 plus number 2, just like that. So our variable results is equal to this number 1 plus number 2, and we're going to print out our variable results to show how this program runs with only 4 lines of code. So as you can see, while I'm running this in the terminal, it's going to ask me for my first number, and I'm going to type in 5, just like that. And our second number will be 8. And as you can see, our results are equal to 13. And we can make it more specific by saying print out results are equal to, and we'd add a plus right there. And just like this, these are our results, and if we're to run our code, we would see results are equal to. But one thing I might be missing in this code is, as you can see, this is a string and this is an integer. And one thing in Python is that strings and integers do not really go together when merged inside print statements. So what we're going to have to do is change this integer right here into a string. And to do that, we use the str function. As the same way we use the int function, we use the str function to turn it into a string so that we can use it in the exact same print statement as this other one. Because with this plus sign, this integer would get confused with this string and it would try to add. So I'm going to type in 5 here and 8 here, and you can see results are equal to 13 without any errors. And as easy as that, you've gotten the basics of input and output in Python. And with this, you can create other multiple functions and other graphical user interface functions. And for those of you that want to learn how to create graphical user functions, you can click the link in my description and you'll be redirected to the Tkinter tutorial video. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.